22 constituency wakapata discrepancy donge. Apart donge. Sa 290 constituency wange sample yote wangepata ngapi? To video kama ni kepi Kilonzo tangone jama.
Tumepeleka tuko na evidence iko hapa hata kwa hii karatasi hii. Sasa tutafanya aje? Ndio Uhuru. Hii kitu nchi mzima aone Kenyans tuko asina mani tena sina peace. Nyanza sio Kenya.
Nyanza sio Kenya. La leo nimekuja na evidence kwa karatasi. Leo nakuja na evidence kwa karatasi kuwaonyesha manze wafuasi wa Raila si wameteseka kuteseka. Leo nakuja na evidence kwa karatasi. Nataka kuwaonyesha the way Raila amekuwa akiwachezea since 1997. The guy has been a Judas. Amekuwa akibetray wa Kenya for his own benefit, for his family and friends benefit. So mkae muone hii video mpaka the end. Sijui mnataka niongee kama huyo brother wa Kindiki. Watch hii video mpaka the end. manze ni ngumu kuongea kama Kindiki hivyo. But evidence kwa karatasi. Tuanze video tuone how Raila truly is.
In light of the foregoing and other overwhelming evidence is available that Moi has desperately manipulated the Electoral Commission to rig election in his favor in order to declare himself the president, we categorically reject the provisional results of the presidential elections. Kenyans are deeply disturbed and angered by the attempt of this government to steal this election through a process that was fraudulent at every step of the way. The people know that they voted to reject the incumbent and put in place a president and a government they will have faith in. That is why they have elected me as the president.
Now, you know, before that tuendele na hizo 5 times, Raila has lost elections 5 times.
5 times, 5 times, 5 times, 5 times, 5 times.
5 times, nakwambia. This guy, I don't know what's wrong with him. Because ameishi Kenya, the guy is like 3 or 4 times older than me. And I know how Kenyans operate. Kama unajua wa Kenya wanaiba vitu, why do you leave if he genuinely won all those times? Why do you leave your polling station or whatever, watu waangalii your results, unaacha tu unaibiwa? You are always the victim. Always the victim. Forever the victim. Wewe tu ndio unaibiangwa tu siku zote. Wafuasi wako wameuliwa. Thousands have died. Thousands have been maimed because of your political inclinings. Angalia 2007, how many people died? And then you shook the hand of the same guy mwenye alikuibia. You say you're doing it for Kenya. Nafanyia wa Kenya. Naingia hii deal, nafanyia tu. Naingia deal tu kwa sababu ya wa Kenya. Naingia hii deal na Uhuru kwa sababu ya wa Kenya. Naingia hii deal na Ruto kwa sababu ya wa Kenya. Naingia hii deal na Moi kwa sababu ya wa Kenya. This guy is a hypocrite and a liar. Najua itauma watu wa Raila sana. But hii channel sinanga huruma. So if you don't know by now, wacha nikuambie. Breaking news. Hii channel sinanga huruma. I will expose watu wenye wana behave badly, wale watu wenye wajali. Hao wote wako on the line. Leo ni Raila, tomorrow will be Rigathi and the crew and others. Hakuna mtu atasamehewa hapa. But tuendelee na hii video tuone vile he's been denying election results every single time. And the common thing is, hiyo time yote amekuwa in the government, finding a way somehow.
It is clear that the constitutionally sanctioned process of electing a new set of leaders to take us to the next level has been thwarted by another tainted election. We will therefore shortly move to court to challenge the outcome that the IEBC announced a few hours ago. What is going on right now is a sham and a total disregard of Section 39 of the Elections Act, which requires the IBC to stream all Forms 34s on the public portal. We therefore reject all the results streamed so far.
Rejecting results from 1997 to 2017 to the latest election ya Ruto. And what happens? What happens? Is he really incompetent that Aelewi he has to guard his votes, or he is on a mission? He knows he will be in leadership longer if he loses every time. Najua it doesn't sound kama conspiracy theory, but listen to it. Maybe he realizes if you win election, you are limited in the time that you can be in government. You are limited. President has only 2 terms maximum. But if you're outside of the government, you can be shaking hands with whoever is the president. You'll be in government in quotes hizo miaka zote. But let's see his latest deal that was at the final straw ya Wakenya. After Kasongo alipiga watu and everything, and then wafuasi wake wenyewe walichapwa wakibeba sufuria and everything, he went and joined the government. Such a betrayal.
It all started from photos which emerged from Uganda, which looked like a political formation, which was denied at the time. But in time, it came apparent that this was not a drill. Raila and Ruto were up to something.
As the term of Musa Faki, our current chair, comes to an end, it is going to be the turn for East Africa to provide the chair of the Africa Union.
The offer to support Raila, AU Commission chairman, defined a shift in the political relation between 2 of the country's foremost opponents.
Yes.
Through meetings with other heads of states, Ruto demonstrated his commitment to support Raila's bid, and in return, Raila played ball at home. Out went the protests against cost of living, fuel prices and other related grievances, and in came a cooperative opposition.
Manze, huyu jamaa ananga shame. Ananga shame for real. Cause unakumbuka watu wangapi walipigwa? There were rumors that watu Kisumu were being castrated. Walikuwa wanakatwa deki in Kisumu. Naruto na hiyo crew yake walikuwa wametuma watu. That is the rumors that were going around. So imagine wewe umekatwa deki, uko hapo nyumbani, and then you see this guy amekuja hapo kushake hands na Ruto. At the exchange he ran for AU, and then man, it is such a betrayal, man. It's such a betrayal. You are there sitting una deki after umepigwa risasi, and all these terrible things have happened to you in the name of Raila, alafu wanaingia government after all that. Manze wa Kenya, we need to be more cautious. These politicians are not your friends. You need to understand politicians, hii ni job. Politics is a job. The same way mtu anaenda kwa ofisi, unafanya sales, unafanya nini, it is a job like that. They are doing their job. So ukiingia na emotions kama huyo jamaa walikuwa anaongea na soprano, donge hao watu wa soprano, unaingia na emotions hivyo. These people don't know you. These people don't care about you. Najua mtasema, Raila ndiye amepigania hizi. Hii freedom yako yenye hata unaongea vibaya hivi, ni yeye ndiye alipigania. Really? You really think Raila alifanya hizo zote kwa sababu anapenda Kenya? Unafikiria hivyo? Enye uko naive if you are thinking that. This is a family affair, and I will show you all those things. It's a family affair. That's why unaona Uhuru Odinga amewekwa hapo, leadership of what? Raila anapeleka daughter wake, the stud daughter anapelekwa akue Iala Parliament or whatever that name is. But tuendelee na video.
quietly pledging not to rock the Ruto boat. This cooperation seemingly culminated in the appointment of Raila's close allies into Ruto's cabinet.
I have sufficient knowledge and experience to be able to move the AU forward. AU is an institution that was founded by the founding fathers of our nation.
Just 5 years ago, a similar script appeared to be at play, with Raila Odinga shaking hands with the then President Uhuru Kenyatta on the steps of Harambee House in what marked the beginning of what others called a shared term. Though Raila did not secure cabinet slots in Uhuru's cabinet, some diplomatic appointment went his way. So did key parliamentary positions as Kenyatta embarked on a purge of Ruto allies, replacing them with Raila's lieutenants.
And we say that the divide ends here, beginning the process of building the bridge that binds Kenya together.
This marks a new beginning for our country, a beginning in which we hope that we shall march together as Kenyans.
The Uhuru and Raila handshake was considered a carbon copy of the Kibaki and Odinga handshake of 28 February 2008. A handshake that culminated in, among other things, the formation of the Grand Coalition government, splitting power between President Kibaki and Mr. Odinga.
You see, anaingianga hapo, whoever is next in command anachujwa. Akiingia time ya Ruto, time ya Uhuru, Ruto alisukumwa kando. Anaingia time ya Kibaki, I think it was Kalonzo there, the VP. Kalonzo was just a watermelon vile anamuitanga. He was in nothing. He was ana any power. Anaingia hapo time ya sijui who else, anachuja whoever is second in command. This is a plot. But ukimuuliza atasema, I'm doing this for the love of Kenya. I'm doing this for the sake of peace. For the sake of peace. Come on, man.
The forced cohabitation did not, however, erase the fact that Kibaki and Odinga previously entered into another coalition agreement as they led their respective alliances in the formation of National Rainbow Coalition that won the 2002 presidential election. Raila's power-sharing experiments dates back to the final years of late-retired Mzee Daniel Moi's era, when he, through an arrangement called cooperation, secured the influential energy docket, an appointment that startled the opposition.
Mesikia hiyo. Hadi Moi, the same Moi mwenye alimtesa, Moi mwenye alimweka ni Nyayo torture chambers. Mwalimweka hapo mpaka saizi he is scared that unaonanga machozi natoka kwa macho tu. It was the same Moi ndio bado alisema yenyewe ulinitesa hapa donge. Ulinitesa, but let me shake your hand and get the energy docket. He's in there for himself. Get it? Understand it? Umeunderstand sasa? Because mimi mtu akinitesa, amenieka kwa torture chambers, there is no way in hell I will be shaking his hand. But that is the type of person Raila is. He shakes the hand of the people he says are terrible. Moi was a dictator, terrible person. He still shook his hand. Alisema Kibaki is a terrible person. Shook his hand. Kuna kwanga nayo saying, show me your friends and I'll show you show me your friends, I'll show you the type of person, you know the saying, you are. If he's hanging out with all these people he's claiming are terrible, where do you jiulize swali? How is it possible that yeye ndio mweupe kama pamba, hizi miaka zote mweupe kama pamba, but ako hapo na Moi, ako hapo na Kibaki, ako hapo na Uhuru, saizi ako hapa na Kasongo? Tuendelee.
Further shocks were to follow as Odinga folded his National Development Party to join KANU. where he became the Secretary General. At the time, the KANU Director of Elections was William Ruto.
Cooperation is that idea whose time has come, and ideas do move fast as their time comes. Hence this historic pact and consummation of merger today of our two parties.
And today, the two are back together.
They're back together. So let's see hizi deal zake zenye wanafanya chini chini, how they are. Uhuru alitupatianga siri how the deals go on, but hebu wacha tuone hiyo clip ya Uhuru telling us how they did the deal na Uhuru.
Hiyo hofu mlikuwa naye, hata sisi tulikuwa naye pia. Huyu mtu tukikutana naye tutaambiana nini? Na kwa ukweli wakati tulikutana, tulikunywa chai karibu dakika 45, kuna mtu anaongea, tunakunywa tu chai. Habari ya nyumbani sawa. Habari ya mama ako tu. Habari ya watoto wanasoma, wanaendelea. Hakuna maneno mengine inaweza kutoka.
So mmeona hivyo ndio madeals huwa zinafanyika. Mnakunywa chai 45 minutes after mmetusiana hivyo, and then they walk out with a deal. Meanwhile, Wakenya wako hapa wanabeba panga, wanaenda ku-attack each other, wana-rob, wana-loot maduka za wenzao because of these guys. Like, get it through your skull. Our politicians hawajali. They don't care about you. Najua Raila ndio anaonekananga as the savior of the nation. But that's not really it. Because when he was doing this, watu wake, wafuasi wake walikuwa wanapigwa nini, all those things. But yeye akitokanga, him and his people are good, wako set. Nyinyi hapo mnarudi Kibera, mnarudi kwa other tough life. But yeye ako hapo tu, maisha sweet. but hebu tuendelee tuone this new arrangement. Rumors gani zimetokea sasa with this new arrangement na Kasongo?
We want to hear whether the deputy president, whether when he says ni fire, see fire, ni noma, see noma, whether he can earn himself a second term.
In politics, they say nothing happens by chance, and if it does, it was probably planned that way. This statement by National Assembly Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah paints a picture of a subtle warning that succession politics are already in play and that Ruto's inner circle is weighing who might be the best bet to deputize him in the 2027 contest. The warming relations between President William Ruto and ODM leader Raila Odinga are increasingly being read as more than bipartisan cooperation, with allegations that the new political chemistry could shape the 2027 ballot in ways never imagined.
So, as you can see, the rumors are Raila might be the deputy ya Kasongo. That's the rumors. Because yeye akiingianga place, whoever is second in command, inje, umeshatoka, unachujwa. That's how he operates. He's always in it for himself. He's been doing it from 1997. Mmeona hizo clips zingine nimeonyesha. Aliingia tu hivi anatoa. Whoever is kwa post anatolewa. Whoever is there anaekwa kando. But ebu tuone sasa through visual graphics how it really happens.
So, Moi's long-serving Vice President George Saitoti cast aside following the merger of Odinga's NDP and Moi's KANU. Later in 2008, the Kibaki-Raila National Accord saw the then Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka reduced to a ceremonial role despite holding high office. Ruto found himself stripped of influence, sidelined in the very government he helped form. In the cast bedeviling the office of Kenya's second-in-command is Rigathi Gachagua.
Mpaka Gachagua aliyekwa kando. After all those things, unakumbuka vile Gachagua alikuwa anabonga trash. Alikuwa anasema ameweka mitego throughout State House ndio huyu jamaa wa vitendawili asiingie. And right now, yeye ndiye ako nje, jamaa wa kitendawili ako ndani. That's why I'm saying this guy is an opportunistic guy. That's all he does. He really does not care about Kenya. Najua watu wengi wanakasirika nikisema hivyo, because you truly believe that he was once good. Maybe if he was once good, but if you live long enough, you end up becoming a villain, because you might be good now, but if you continue living long enough, you will be a villain. And that is what he's doing. He has become Judas. Amesaliti watu, ameingia hapo, Gachagua nje. Next ni jamaa wa Soprano. Those are the rumors. But we'll see. Those are just rumors. But tuendelee.
Who became the first deputy president in Kenya's history to be impeached. His fall from grace coincided with Raila's decision to work with William Ruto, fueling claims that the deal required a political sacrifice. Gachagua it was. Integrity. Now, Deputy President Kithure Kindiki sits where his predecessors once did. Could he be on borrowed time? Well, only time will tell.
Time will tell for real. And time keeps on showing us that Raila is just an opportunistic person. He is in it for himself and his friends. And in this next clip, I want to show you Raila, the same Raila, akisema governors should be getting automatic pension after 2 terms. Kenyan politicians are some of the highest paid, and he is still asking that the governors wapewe pension. Can you believe that nonsense? But trended to on the next clip.
The governors have mentioned it, that governors serve the counties, and they can serve 1 term, 2 terms. I've got a number of governors who have served 2 terms. In Parliament, we did an amendment so that any member of Parliament who serves 2 terms is systematically entitled to a pension. Why can we not do the same thing to the governors?
So unaona anapigania governors who are already extra paid, and we all know governors steal. We all know the corruption level in Kenya. These people are the last people to deserve a pension. Wewe kwa job yako uko na pension. How many people in Kenya are working and are gonna get pension? So many people do not have these benefits. Watu unafanya M-Pesa. Uko hapo M-Pesa unapata pension. But he is here advocating for people getting, like, some of the highest paid people in the world. Leadership ya Kenya ni one of the highest paid in the world, to get automatic pension after 2 terms. And he is always so obsessed with this pension thing. In case you forgot, wacha niwakumbushe 10 years ago, akipigania pension yake, where he was to get like 20-something million and then $1 million every month. Time yenye Uhuru alikuwa anamkazia pension yake. Ebu tuone how he was fighting for his own pension.
He has dominated the political scene for nearly 3 decades, rising to the position of Prime Minister, a powerful position which he insists is deserving of a golden handshake.
They have refused up to now to give me my dues for the term that I served as Prime Minister. Up to now, I don't get even a single penny.
Mnakumbuka hiyo time alikuwa analilia pension yake, because Uhuru alikuwa amemkazia story na pension. He was here asking for pension. This guy, his family owns molasses. Ukienda hizo sides za Kisumu, they own molasses, a whole factory ya molasses. He is a multi-millionaire, one of the richest Kenyans, but anapigania pension. He doesn't even need it. If you were to be honest, this guy is super rich. He does not even need it. And I will show you how super rich he is. This guy, ako hapa analilia pension that he might probably never even use, because the income he generates from his own business. He's a child of a politician. Like this, it's a joke, manze. Manze Kenya, sijui ni nini ilitufanya. Tulirogwa. But tuendelee.
When my counterpart, who was my co-principal, has all the privileges, has everything that he needs, the vehicles, all the security, and also gets his pension as a president. But the Prime Minister is denied those privileges. And they even go to Parliament to try to cancel what you can say is very minimum in the bill. But I'm not bitter.
Actually, Parliament did pass the bill on the 30th of April this year, but the President has rejected it, stating that beneficiaries must have retired from active politics. Raila Odinga, speaking during NTV's AM Live show, said this was just another hurdle to deny him his rightful dues.
Basically, it is malicious, because first, he has reduced even the amounts. That money is not meant for political activities. It's just meant because you are only getting 80% of your salaries.
You're only getting 80% of your salaries. He was getting millions as prime minister. 80%, you're burdening hundreds of thousands or even millions. But Akwapa, and I say like nothing, because in reality, that is nothing for a politician of his size. Your pension ni nothing. Wanaibanga excessively. Kama unafikiria Raila jaiba, pole. Let me break the news for you too. Hakuna politician Kenya mweupe kama pamba. That is a lie. So wako hapa, present day anasema governors wapatiwe pension. How many Kenyans are living in poverty? Hii ni 2014. Anasema he deserves the pension. Apewe hizo millions every month, like a million every month. Na hiyo hata uja account for inflation. Ukiongeza na inflation saizi labda nikaa 2 million. And then this is the same guy who was the member of parliament for Kibera for 20 something years, over 20 years. But ndio maana hata watu wengine wanamuita the Lord of Poverty. Over 20 years, all that time, and Kibera, in those 20 years, what happened in Kibera? Kibera came and grew to become one of the largest slums in Africa. And hapa anapigania pension. Angalia Kibera how it is. Angalia Kisumu, how Kisumu is. After all those years. But, tuendelee. Hizi vitu huwa zinanivunja roho completely. The leadership of Kenya. But tuendelee tuone his fight for pension.
Of what you are earning.
The Presidential Retirement Benefits Act, which according to President Kenyatta largely informed this bill, defines active engagement as holding office in any political party for more than 6 months after ceasing to hold the office of the president.
I did not back his term had come to an end. He had served 2 terms as a president, and that's it. He could not run a 3rd term. That's why he went into retirement. The same thing with Moi. There was no similar requirement for a prime minister.
Besides, the position of the prime minister no longer exists in the constitution, and he effectively retired. Other than the fact that it's your right, do you really need that?
Who doesn't need?
You seem to be doing well.
What do you mean? Don't be deceived.
No. Baga the presenter namuuliza, do you really need the money? Surely, do you really need it? Like you, unaona hiyo nyumba. Do you really need the pension? Hadi anacheka because ameshikwa hapo, ameshikwa for real. And this guy is not a normal guy. Najua Kenya hapo saa yenye mnarusha mawe nini, you are going to protest for this guy. Mnafikiria ni Mkenya kama nyinyi. No, this guy is one of the wealthiest Kenyans ever. From his family, hata kama angekuwa anafanya politics, he would still be one of the wealthiest families, one of the wealthiest Kenyans. But bado watu are willing to die and doing terrible things on his behalf. Like manze wa Kenya, there's something seriously wrong with us. This is not normal. This is not normal at all. But I want to show you how this guy, he would move heaven and earth for his family. He would move heaven and earth for his family. And in this clip, I want to show you, I want you to just count how many countries he took his daughter for medical care. How many countries his daughter went for medical care? Uniambie kama nyinyi mnaezana na hiyo income yenyu ya Kenya to treat your family that way.
First, she spent quite a bit of time in South Africa, in a rehab, and my wife had to actually hire an apartment in Joburg to just attend to her for 3 months.
This was the time daughter wake alikuwa sick and she was like going blind. So first country, South Africa, ampelekwa South Africa for treatment. Alianza treatment Kenya. Aya, so Kenya, bill already iko hapo, bill ya Kenya imelipwa. Second, wameenda South Africa, wakahire apartment because it was a long thing. Tuendelee.
We came here, she was still not quite good. We sent her to Israel, but found that the facilities there were not fairly, good for this particular treatment. So she came back. Then we had a Chinese physio who discovered that the operation was not complete, and that what was supposed to have been removed from her brains, her head, was actually regrowing. So he sent this, he did an MRI, and then they discovered this, and he sent the results to a professor in Peking University, who said that this is an emergency. That's how we sent her to China.
Okay, haya, in case mlikuwa mmeshapoteza hesabu, walianza Kenya, okay? Walianza Kenya, wakaenda South Africa, wakakaa South Africa hadi wakanini apartment, and then from South Africa wakaenda Israel. Israel wakuwa na nini ya kumtibu poa, so hizo zote ni transport and everything. Haya, so Kenya, South Africa, Israel, saizi wamefika China. Hizo ni how many countries? 4 countries. Tuendelee.
And in China, they did a wonderful job, that operation. After which, she came back. Now she could walk and she could talk without much difficulties. The problem was that the optic eyes had been interfered with during the operation, which took place at Aga Khan Hospital. So now we tried, we sent her to an institution in Germany.
Germany, haya, turudi hesabu tena. Kenya, South Africa, Israel, China, Germany, the 5 countries. Tuendelee.
Which said they could treat this, but it was not successful. Then ultimately now people were giving up. But then a friend of mine in India said that there's an institution in India which can actually treat this using traditional medicines. And at first everybody was a little bit apprehensive, saying how we've tried all the best institutions in the world. But this friend of mine was persistent, and Rosemary also had faith. So she went to this institution in Kerala, in India.
Aya, mehesabu hizo country zote, and this is one daughter. Saa yenye watu Kenya wanalazwa Kenyatta, they cannot even afford the bill. Unaingizwa kwa WhatsApp group ya kufanya fundraising. But this is one daughter. He is moving heaven and earth kumsaidia. Walianza Kenya, Aga Khan, one of the most expensive hospitals, Aga Khan. And then they went to South Africa, and then they went to Israel, and then they went to China, and then they went to Germany, and then finally they went to India. Hizo ni countries ngapi for treatment? Can you believe that? Saenye sisi tunalemewa na bill moja tu. Ukienda hapo Kenyatta or wherever, unalemewa na bill moja. And this is all going around the world for treatment. Eventually, the daughter was treated. Aya, twende next tuone what he does for his other daughter, the third daughter.
Azimio la Umoja One Kenya, 12 candidates are battling it out for the 4 slots available. ODM party, which is guaranteed 2 slots, has nominated 6 candidates. The other contestants, apart from Winnie Odinga and Kennedy Musyoka, are Suleiman Shabbat.
That is the daughter, the stud daughter, huyu mwenye alipelekwa hadi Pennsylvania. I think it was Pennsylvania, alienda university. Saa nyinyi mko hapo, mnaenda kufanya computer or whatever hapo Nairobi kwa university kole fulani. Yeye the daughter amempeleka Pennsylvania kusoma. After amemaliza graduation, unarudi unafanya, you have a choice. Either you can work for your company, ufungue company yako, ama uende work for your father's company, hapo molasses, or wacha your dad akusaidie, akupeleke Iala. Like, is this fair? Life si fair. Kisumu si Kenya. Like, this is, and these are the same people. Utaona mtu analia machozi, mbona hajapata leadership. Unaona mtu Kibera anarusha mawe ati huyu anakuwa oppressed. Like, we are joking, manze. In Kenya we are joking. But hii video kama ija kuconvince Raila is in it for himself, wacha tu hata tumalizie video hapo, but wacha tumweke atuimbie his favorite song as we log out of this thing. So Raila, just take it away.
Round the Bay of Mexico, where the sun shines daily on the mountain top, I took a trip on a sailing ship. When I reached Jamaica, I made a stop, but I am sad to say I'm on my way. Won't be back for many a days. My head is down, my head is turning around. I had to let a little girl in Kingston town.
Hey, yawa, Momera. So if you like this video, chop a like, subscribe, tuonane next time.